Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Joshua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I think of a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children. Kal, Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Ha Rokah Kodash Mahamah, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawam. Salutation to the Akims on the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Well, we have Billy Gates and other people supposed to be of a high education, high status, strong belief system of wickedness. It says destruction was always the plan. Yep. They want to destroy everything so they can rebuild it to the status wickedness of the Edomites. The title of this lesson is called Fear Thou Not, for I Am With Thee. I'll pray a little bit of it and then we go into the lesson.
Experts is that their authority is a flimsy illusion, a shaky tower built on fancy degrees, smooth talk, and a remarkable talent for dodging the consequences of their own failures. These are folks who strut around claiming they can fix problems they've never bothered to understand, cooking up policies that sound grand in a seminar room, but fall apart the minute they hit the real world. They're not driven by facts or common sense. They're propelled by what I've long called the vision of the anointed, a smug conviction that they're smarter and nobler than the rest of us, entitled to remake society in their image. And who gets stuck with the bill when their brilliant ideas crash and burn? Not them, never them. It's the ordinary people, the ones who don't have the luxury of hiding behind a title or a podium. See, a surgeon who botches a heart operation loses his license. An engineer who designs a bridge that collapses loses his job and maybe his freedom. But these self-appointed experts, the ones in government offices, university ivory towers, and media studios who wreck whole communities, economies, or generations with their schemes, they just dust themselves off, write another book about why it wasn't their fault, and move on to the next disaster. Their influence is vast, their accountability is nil, and that's the rotten core of the problem. They wield power without ever having to answer for the wreckage they leave behind.
Stretching is not a good
Clark,
use of
you know
your
how it is
time
with
if your goal is to
YouTube.
get flexible and eliminate recurring
You know how it
injuries.
is. Let me give it a
Stretching will
minute.
relax.
Now, let's be clear about who I'm talking about here. I don't mean the mechanic who can rebuild your engine or the farmer who knows exactly when to sow his fields. Those are people with real hard-earned knowledge, tested every day by results you can see and touch. No, I'm pointing at the intellectual class, the bureaucrats, the professors, the talking heads, who think they've got the magic formula for solving big, messy things like poverty, crime, or education, all without ever getting their hands dirty. These are the types who sit in cushy offices and dictate how the rest of us should live, work, and raise our kids, ignoring the basic laws of human nature and economics like they're optional.
Okay, let's stop it right there. As you can see, more and more people are coming out in the internet and talking against the Edomites worldwide because they're tired, they're fed up. But this lesson is more for the Hebrew Israelite, the so-called Negros, Latino niggas, and the speckled birds. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. You know, things are going to get so ugly the way these Edomites keep pretending, right, and deceiving the people around the world that they have the solution to the problem that they created, you see? Which is okay because they're going to destroy themselves anyway. That's the beauty about it. The whole world knows who they are, so they cannot hide no more. They have to go forward and do the wickedness right? Which is really the turn off the internet, right? Turn off the lights and do a reset, right? For them to bring in the new world system that's not going to go the way they plan. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2. When thou pass through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the river, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Woo! Hey, that was the same thing that happened to what they named in Babylonians time, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? When the king of the Babylonian told them, if you don't bow down to me and worship me, I'll throw you inside that flame and burn you, right? But they did not bow down. The same thing's going to happen when they bring the MOTB system, right? A lot of our people are not going to take it. Better to be living in the spirit world than to live in a world where they want to turn us into cyborgs, right? They can stick that right up their ass. I want to go to Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Give me a minute. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil. See, Yahweh Shin Shai, he has good plans for his people, the so-called Negros, Latinos, Nicans, and speckled birds. But this wicked world, all they have is evil towards us, right? They still want to keep us in slavery. To give you an expected, what? An expected end. See? All this is going to come to an end, and that's the good news. I want to go to Romans chapter 8. Give me a minute. Romans, if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Chapter 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Okay? Verse 19. For the honest expectation of the creature waits for the manifestation of the Son of Yahweh. Yeah, we are waiting for Yahushua to come back, right, to remove this wicked kingdom off the face of the earth, right, and put the Edomites in slavery for 1,000 years. I want to go to Philippians chapter 16. Philippians chapter 16, I said? Yep. No. Chapter 4, Salakia. Verse 13. I knew there was something wrong. I can do all things through Yahweh Shai, which strengthens me. That's who we're going to put our trust and our faith, right? Not in this wicked system, because we know their intention and their plans, thanks to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Proverbs 16. Ooh. Give me a minute. Verse 3. Oops, what happened? It didn't go. Commit thy works unto Yahweh, and thy thought shall be established. You see? So that's how come we put our time and energy doing the work to build spiritual credit, because, you know, when the Edomites turn loose, and they will, they have all kinds of gadgets, technology, that they're going to be using against the whole world. Verse 4, Yahweh has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Yeah. He did it with a purpose. and that purpose is going to come to an end. The Edomites are coming to an end. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten it in his time. Yeah, he's going to increase us, give us, really, the 144,000 chosen elect are going to have superpowers in a new body that will never get low and will never get sick. And 1/3 of men, women, and children as well that be saved. I want to leave it with Jeremiah chapter 1. I'll start with verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. Woo! And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. Can you imagine that? He already had prepared us even from the beginning of time before we went into the womb of our mothers. Okay? So he already knew us because we were living in the spiritual world, in the kingdom of heaven, right? And he picked who he wants to send out into the world as prophets. That's amazing. I'll leave it with verse 8. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, say Yahweh. So we don't need to be fearing the Edomites or what they're going to do and what they say, because their end is getting closer and they know it. Ours is the beginning. How it goes? I believe it goes, Jacob is the beginning and Esau, right, is the end, something like that. It's like if I said it wrong. But I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.